Friday that it would now require United States Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is further tightening restrictions imposed over the last few months on the Pentagon press corps, announcing Friday that it would now require all reporters to sign a pledge not to gather or use any information that had not been formally authorized for release or risk losing their press credentials at the Pentagon. The freedom of the press is now under threat in arguably one of the most important branches of government, the Pentagon. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, it's reasonable in light of national security concerns, considering all the foreign entanglements we're involved in. However, this also pertains to unclassified information. You're not allowed to gather or use any information. That doesn't make sense. That sounds like they're really trying to control the spin and manufacture consent for what is coming. What's the point in having the press at that point if they can't think independently and report the actual news for what it is? This is continuity of government stuff, guys. This means that they're so concerned about what's about to go down that they want to make sure that they can 100% control the narrative. That should scare the shit out of people.
Exactly. Call Lord YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI. All praise and glory and honor to YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI. And double honors to my apostles and my elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And I'm gonna try to do this one quick. This was on the in the spirit, just seeing this. You know, as you can see, Iran media blackout, which he's speaking about that media right now, Pentagon, and Iran launches ICBMs. All right. So Iran is getting ready. These are the Persians. These are the ancient Persians. These are the dragons of Arabia, the kings of the East. All right. It's not a coincidence that Israel attacked Qatar. United States is in it. The least of the flock should draw them in. All things are happening. All right. This man is trying to, like he said, media blackout. He's trying to hide the narrative. They're going to keep you useless eaters, you Babylonians. They're going to try to keep you. Most of y'all going to be asleep. And this is why it's so important for us that's in this truth, that claim to be men of the Lord, prophets, stay on your watch, because us knowing the understanding, the forecast, we know what this man is about. We know that this man has an agenda. We know that something big is going to happen. We know that we have to be prepared in the spirit. Knowledge and wisdom should be the stability of that time, and the fear of the Lord is his treasure, man. So, you know, this guy, you better believe he's a prepper, but he don't got the spirit, so that's why he made that statement. This just scared the shit out of you, because he's scared. Are we scared? No, we ready. In the spirit, we know it's about to be Jacob's trouble. You know? We know they about to pull some strings. Something about to happen, you know, going into this year 2026.
Department of Defense said in the 17-page memo released Thursday that it remains committed to transparency. Yeah, just like how transparent Hegseth was on that unsecure line of communication there, to promote accountability and public trust, but added that information must be approved for public release by an appropriate authorizing official before it's released. Now, they'll say this is in the name of preventing disinformation and misinformation. However, this attacks the underlying tenets of journalistic integrity and freedom.
Yeah, now they're trying to take that freedom from the journalists, because what journalists do, they search. Their job is to search for information, news, you know, even hidden news that the U.S. government hides, and they're able to go in and the prophecy say their own tongue shall fall upon them. You got whistleblowers, you know, you got men that are in secret speaking. Why? Because we're in the time of this man. Let's go to Habakkuk. Let's go to the book of Habakkuk. Let's just get the scripture. Let's just let the scripture speak, man. You know, let's get that. Woe to him. Who? Let me see. All right, here we go. Habakkuk 2:16. Thou filled with shame for glory, drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. Right? Yeah, you're being uncovered. Everybody knows you're the root of evil. Amalek, you JOOS. Trump, East over here, the West. Everybody knows you the root of evil. Right? And a lot of information is coming out against you, and you trying to hide the narrative.
So
Like
you're
you
going to
always
be
done.
entering a situation where the American population is getting acclimatized to having paramilitary on the ground with full automatics in their cities, wearing CBRN gear, scooping people up on the streets. Whether you agree to it or not is neither here nor there. The fact that they're doing it right in front of your eyes and getting you used to seeing that, right? They're getting you used to seeing that. So right now it's illegal immigrants. But how do you know when they make the transition that it's not just going to be somebody that they disagree with? Somebody.
Did you just hear that? And did we not speak about this? The brothers, like-minded brothers, the elders, we even spoke about this today. Huh? This is all Trojan horse that Esau is doing so he could come down against all of us Israelites that's coming out with this truth. That's why YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, we keep saying the famine of the word is coming. The Lord is going to make sure that he remove his men from the streets, from the highways and byways. And you men that been pussyfooting, you ain't get this truth. You ain't come out to greet brothers. You ain't come out like you were supposed to. That's going to be on your detrimental. You going to have to deal with that because time is short. Time is short. The Lord going to make sure he keep his men safe because they're about to do this. That's why the National Guards are ready to be out there. That's why he's making up all these rules in the Supreme Court that now it's legal to racial profile you just because you speak Spanish or, you know, you're brown skin or whatever. That's why Pat Bondi was being interviewed. She said, yeah, we're coming against everyone that has hate speech. APAC, Mossad, and the Amalekites, they got a foot up near on them asses, man. You know?
Seeing
Yeah, what he
that,
just said.
right? They're
Listen,
getting you used
listen.
to seeing that. So right now it's illegal immigrants. But how do you know when they make the transition that it's not just going to be somebody that they disagree with, somebody who is anti something, somebody who was birthed from this homegrown terrorism,
Exactly. Listen.
the Antifa, which was recently outlawed in the United States, okay? Or anti anything that can be swept up under that very ambiguously defined institution. So this is very, very serious. They're using these stochastic terrorist acts that we see, like the assassination of Charlie Kirk, for the
There you go. Let me go up a
military
little bit. Let me see when you start speaking. Hold on. I'm sorry, Salaka. Bear with me, brothers.
bases. This is reported on Fox and other major news networks that the Iranians indeed do have other underground nuclear facilities, and many of us.
Now we know that we did a couple of years ago. Iran actually had the TV cameras, and they were recording underground tunnels, underground cities, where they were showing you they had all these military weapons and nukes. All right, and this is why Amalek's been trying to bring down and attack, you know, and set up this thing so they could go in and attack Iran. And you know what the scripture speaks about, you know, in Ezekiel 38. You got Russia, Gog, man. That the scripture says it's going to be a guard onto them. So this is all being set up in the spirit. Ain't no time to waste. You know, guard on to. Oh man, let me see if I can find it. But bear with me, man. There you go. Let's get Ezekiel 38 and 7. This thing is happening, brothers. Iran, they got the nukes. It's breaking. All right, let's go to Ezekiel 38. Right? Bear with me. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm doing this on the fly, on the spirit. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. All right? That's it. You heard what he said? Look, Pentagon media blackout. They're going to change the narrative. This is what media means. Going back to a medium, which is what? A witch, a warlock. This is what they do. They put people to sleep with their television, tell a lie, you know, and they do it in disguise. They do it under what is called propaganda. All right, and they're going to do it. Iran launches ICBMs, nuclear secrecy, World War III prep. Are you telling me we're not
speculated as much, considering they have just dozens of these massive underground missile cities. So why wouldn't you just do something nuclear in one of those? Well, what he's implying here is, and he's talking, of course, they take a lot of pride in the fact that they've been able to achieve nuclear power on their own. That is quite the accomplishment technologically and scientifically for any nation state. They take great pride in that. And they say that they're going to continue to build things that are far more important than the facilities that were targeted by the Israelis, and admitting to doing a 10,000 kilometer capable ICBM test. While you have the USS, I can't remember which one, it is targeted by the Israelis, and admitting to doing a 10,000 kilometer capable ICBM.
Now I wanna look that up real quick. Let's look up how much is how long is 10,000 miles? How long is 10,000 kilometers? 6,213.712 miles. 6,213.712 miles. That's far. That's long. All right? That's far. Let's go real quick. How far is Iran from New York? 9,850 kilometers, approximately 6,120 miles. And they're going to have capabilities of testing 6,213 mile nuclear capability kilometer miles, nukes. So what does that tell you if you put it together? Huh? 6,120. They got more if this is successful. Do you see where this is going? So you know they damn sure could hit the land of Israel with no problem, and also maybe have capabilities to reach Babylon the Great. So where is this going? We're at that time. Time is short. We keep saying it. Revelation 11:14. The second woe is past, and behold, the
Test.
third woe cometh
While you
quickly.
have
That's how
the
quick it's coming.
USS, I can't remember which one it is, but it's an aircraft carrier that just left the Persian Gulf. It doesn't look good. Okay? So the Pentagon knows that the shit's about to go down. They need to control the narrative. They need to manufacture consent. They need to stifle dissent. And they need to have the military in the streets, because when things get out of control, if the economic bubble bursts and you have riots,
Which is going to happen. This government, these devils know that it's going to happen. They're about to transition from fiat currency to digital currency, and MOTB will come, and it's going to cause civil war. It's about to happen. This is why the national troops are set up right now. This is in the prophecy, 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. It is going to happen. They know World War III is about to happen. Trump just made a statement and said, "Is Putin let me down, but we have something that's going to take him by surprise." This is war talk. This is war talk. You have Qatar and those Ishmaelites over there saying that they're going to retaliate. We're not in the time of peace. We're in the time of war, and it all trickles down to over here. The economy is going to bust, like I said, and it's going to create all hell.
In the
So
streets.
look, let's play.
If you have civil unrest, and if you have hot wars flaring up all around the world, or worse, they're really just preparing for the big one. They're preparing for nuclear Armageddon, and that's why a lot of these ICE officials, ICE paramilitary, why are they wearing military equipment? You got to ask yourself, why are these?
Yeah, man. Let me go back a little bit. I want to see something. Bear with me,
Natans
brothers.
and things that are far more nuclear weapons at some point in tech into an ICBM platform. Thin, but the Iranians today said something very, very interesting. And it's not just what they said, it's what they did.
Listen to this.
Yesterday, I reported that there was a mysterious missile launched from Iran. Well, it turns out that that was actually a test of an intercontinental ballistic missile, one that is claimed to be able to travel 10,000 kilometers plus, okay, according to an Iranian MP, revealed that the foot.
And now we know 10,000 kilometers. We just looked it up. If this 10,000 kilometers, that's over 6,000 miles.
Circulating this week was a successful test of one of Iran's most advanced missiles, adapted from SLV tech into an ICBM platform. Now you got to ask yourself, a platform like this is worth a lot of money, okay? Even on the shoestring budget of the Iranians, this is a huge investment of resources to make a missile that can launch 10,000 kilometers. The only type of warhead that is economically viable to put on something like that is nuclear. So the only reason why you would make ICBMs is if you had or were planning on potentially having nuclear weapons at some point in time. So, what does the President Pezeshkian say just last night? Get a load of this. So he was referring to the snapback mechanism being employed. They convened to snap back sanctions in reference to Europe. Snapback cannot stop us. They can hit Natanz and 4 down nuclear sites, but they were oblivious to the fact that it is our people who build and will continue to build Natanz and things that are far more important than Natanz. Now, there were rumors swirling when the war was winding down that indeed there were other nuclear facilities, deep underground military bases. This was reported on Fox and other.
That's it, brothers. Hey, time is short. War is coming. Get it, man. Stay on your watch. Shalom.